these players' healthy records. Mize 6-0. Kendall Burdette is 5-0-1. We got some cluttered boards here, so we'll try to get an idea of exactly what's going on. It looks like this game just did end, though it looks like they were still in game number 1. So let's update things for you here. Get an idea of what's going on with these two players. And it looks like Kendall did win game number 1 with his Elves deck. So he comboed off. I have to imagine it involved in Zuri and a whole bunch of damage.
Yes.
He's even got some new cards here in Daiwin's Elite.
Yeah, that was a card. I've mentioned a couple times the Elves list that I played against online had Daiwin's Elite alongside Evolutionary Elite, which was a nice little combo.
Well, to the sideboards we're going to go then. We'll start with Mize since he'll be on the play. He's got 4 Path to Exile, 4 Voice of Resurgence, and some one-ofs here. And Tasker the Golden Fang, Aven Mind Sensor, Orzhov Pontiff, Burrington Forge Tender, Scavenging Ooze, Liliana Keeper of Silence, and Eidolon of Rhetoric. It seems like there are 2 really good ones here in Liliana and Pontiff.
Yeah.
Or Linvala, excuse me.
Linvala is made for matchups like this. Orzhov Pontiff is very good as well. I don't know how much of the Path to Exile type of stuff you want. The Elves deck is pretty redundant. It's hard to break them up by just one piece of removal, but Kendall does have a couple more key threats in Elvish Archdruid and Azuri, which might be good enough for Path to come in.
What do we see on the other side?
2 copies of Rest in Peace, 3 copies of Kitchen Things, 2 copies of Beast Within, 3 copies of Beast Within, 2 copies of Fracture Gust, 3 copies of Dismember, 2 copies of Spellskite. I really like the Dismembers and the Rest in Pieces in this matchup. If Kendall can keep Logan off of all the graveyard synergy stuff, I think Logan's deck is way behind. It's hard for Kendall to interact with Logan's combo, but you cold the graveyard, all of a sudden he has to beat you straight up with things like Flyers and Gavany Township, and that's very tough for Logan to do.
Players will shuffle up here for game number 2. We'll be underway here shortly. But we'll very quickly talk about the IQ circuit here with Star City Games. Very helpful for getting Logan Mize to the Players Championship last year, and with any luck, he'll use it again to get him there this year.
Yeah, this comes with all sorts of stuff here, like qualifications for the Invitational, of course. They're called IQs for a reason. Playmats and top, 8 pins, Invitational winner tokens, and SCG premium vouchers. So you can bring this level of organized play to your local store, qualify for the Invitationals, give yourself a path to the Players Championship as well.
We go as low as normal IQs. We can go all the way to the top rope with Premier IQs. We'll be running one of each of those tomorrow. One will be Standard and one will be Legacy. So whenever you do come to Open Series events, you can find Premier IQs, and your store can run those as well. StarCityGames.com for more information about that. As we do get ready for Logan Mize here, number 7 on our Season 3 leaderboard. We'll actually learn more about him. Really good season last year. We saw him this year in Chicago. I didn't expect to, where he got second place at that Open a couple of weeks ago. I think he wins that Open, 9 times out of 10. Deck didn't really cooperate in the finals, especially in game number 3, but he almost even won that game with Heroic.
Yeah, he mulliganed to 3 in the finals and still made a game out of it. I mean, 1 land away, I think, from potentially winning that 3rd game in the tournament.
He's 25 years old, from Orlando, Florida. An Invitational top 8 in Season 2 of last year. 5 Open Series top 8s as well. Psychology student at the University of South Florida. Loves some sports and loves the Penguin. Loves the Penguin. I know that when we were in Chicago, had he won that tournament, Nick Miller was ready to grill him with Penguin questions.
Yeah, Nick Miller had a whole bit of trivia, or trivia is kind of the wrong word for it, but a lot of information about the Penguin. He was going to grill Logan, test his knowledge.
Some great tweets here from you guys this weekend, by the way. I brought up an armadillo, and someone asked, would the armadillo be wearing a cloak? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just a money-making idea. So we'll have to give you your percentage with that. And a duck-billed platypus. I think that would also play pretty well here. Someone mentioned a cow. I don't know how a cow fits into Magic. Am I wrong about that?
I'd have to think about it. I'm sure there's some designs.
There's probably some cow. There's probably been at least one cow.
There's antelopes all over the place.
I guess that's true. More like Mirage. Is that when that happened or no?
I mean, even there's the enchantment-seeking antelope in Magic Origins.
Oh, right, the Hartebeest. Yeah. Right, okay.
I don't know if it's an antelope, but it looks like an antelope.
Someone wants a moose, which I approve of because mooses are just great.
Yep, fine choice. You can't say you're going to cut these people in on the royalties, though. Have a little more sense than that, you know?
I apologize.
You're cut off, everyone out there.
I apologize.
Cedric spoke too soon, and he doesn't have the authority to make those sort of guarantees anyway.
I'm very sorry.
These are all charitable donations.
I'm actually anti-sloth.
I'm pro-sloth.
You're pro-sloth?
Pro-sloth.
Yeah, I'm anti-sloth. I don't get the joke with that animal.
Wakes up, has some trouble getting the day started, got a lot in common. You know?
You guys are basically one and the same.
We both wake up and just stare at the ceiling. So we are kindred spirits in that sense.
It is a friendly-looking animal.
It is.
I do wonder if it has an aggressive side.
It's very slow if it does.
Might as well take a look at his opening.
What about a skunk?
What I'm imagining now is not only would there be a skunk token, but what would be happening in the background of the skunk playmat? Who did it just destroy?
Yeah.
And is it
It's really bad.
It's not running either.
It's really bad.
walking away like it doesn't care.
Right. I grew up in a pretty rural area, and so skunk attacks are not unheard of. And it's really bad. It's really bad.
Does an ox count as a cow? No.
No.
No. No, those are two different things.
The answer is in the question. No, it doesn't. It's a different animal.
Does not count. It's not Pillarfield cow.
Right.
It's Pillarfield ox. Even though it moves,
Yep.
it's still Pillarfield ox. Logan has found a hand he's happy with. We're underway here in game number 2. He has a windswept heath. Cavernous Souls here for Kendall. Naming elf. And now this is Llanowar Elves. They're testing my Llanowar Elves' Elvis mystic knowledge. But I will win. Apparently we're not in Llanowar anymore. That's why they had to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's long gone at this point.
I think they also stopped naming things plural.
Elves.
Yeah.
Llanowar Elves.
It's just too awkward to. He bolted the Llanowar, his Llanowar elves.
They're all dead.
Yeah,
all
they're
one
all
of them.
gone.
All one of them. It's Anafenza. It's not the one we're used to seeing. Normally use the Anafenza the foremost. But this is the Kintree Spear.
Another way to combo off.
Yep.
Also another value play. Kind of fits both roles. Both things the deck are trying to do.
Another Cavernous Souls into, looks like an Azuri, I believe. Might be an Elvish Archer. Pass turn back. We'll get confirmation on that. A little bit of glare, so we do apologize for that. And it is an Elvish Archer. So Kendall looking to ramp up. Now this deck is very explosive. Here's a Kitchen Finks. And a Bolster. Now here comes Anafenza. Logan thinks better of it. He's going to hold back.
Logan's been on camera enough times to apologize in advance.
He should know better. We'll see what kind of explosive turn Kendall's going to have here. When I think of Elvish Archdruid, what I think of is someone casting it and then crossing their fingers that it lives.
Yep.
If it lives, the opponent's probably going to lose. If it dies, the game continues. Llanowar Elves, Horizon Canopy. What's next for Kendall? Got 3 green mana. Another Archdruid.
Ooh. And this was the card I thought could do a lot of work here for Kendall as rest in peace, because now Logan's got to try to win the game straight up.
Hey, he's got to win normal.
And that's really hard to do, especially against 2 Elvish Archdruids.
Yeah, all these elves are big, and assuming Kendall can work his way towards an Azuri, this game could end very fast.
Yeah, it's from this spot, Kendall is in pretty good shape, even if he doesn't do anything unfair. If he's just casting elves and attacking, he's in great shape. And if he has any of his big payoff cards, like Azuri, Collected Company, it could be over for Logan very fast.
We can pick up a little bit of body language here from Logan. It doesn't look like he's happy to be playing against Rest in Peace right now. His hand doesn't really do all that much. There's a quarter calling over there, but it'll only be for 2, so that's not a ton. But what's unfortunate for him is he was trying to set up to get Viscerous here and go off.
Yep.
gain infinite life.
I also think he has Linvala in hand, but he's short on mana.
Yep.
He's just a little short in a variety of ways.
It's bad times here for Mize. There's a forest. It's funny, this Elves deck is just so straightforward in what it does. Generates a lot of mana, find Azuri, try to kill you with Azuri. Nothing really else going on.
Yeah. Chris's deck feels a lot more, multi-dimensional.
Yeah, there's Azuri. It's almost funny in how straightforward it is.
Yep.
It can do it really fast. But there's nothing crazy going on here. Azuri's going to resolve. I believe Burdette's last card in hand is Court of Calling. I'm not sure if he's going to need it. But it looks like he might be casting it. It looks like he's ready to come into the red zone. Archers are both tapping for 5 each, so he can activate his Ray twice.
So this is lethal. There's 6 in play. Each Archer represents another 6. Overrun on 2 creatures.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So this is 18.
Yeah. So there has to be blocking done.
Yeah.
I was counting the line where I was 1/1s instead of 3/3s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 activations.
Yeah,
Makes them both 9/9s.
So on the table, Logan's got to do something.
The blocks aren't great. Block with Kitchen thinks it's gone for good.
And what's so excruciating about this for Logan is even if he gets a Linvala, he can die just from
Just a regular
random
attack.
attacks. Yeah.
Just draw, turn on my creature sideways, you're dead. Yeah, he's in some serious trouble right now. Here's an activation. The nice thing here for Burdette, too, is that he doesn't have to activate twice if he doesn't want to, because he can leave one of those Archers back to be able to maybe leave regeneration mana available. But it looks like he's making his move. Wants to get as much damage in as possible.
He still has his Horizon Canopy up, so he can still regenerate at least once.
Very true.
And, at this point, what do you think? You're playing against a spot removal spell tops?
Looks like Court of Calling here. For 2. Does she yield anything?
It can get him to mana.
A Wall of Roots.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
My
this is just a kill
goodness.
then. Unless... we'll see what happens momentarily, but
Yeah.
because of the way Trample works.
What an insane draw for Burdette this game.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Logan searches up here now.
I think that you're in that spot, if you're Kendall, you're probably better served just allowing Logan to find something first.
Yeah.
Because he's likely not playing around a creature removal spell at your mono green deck. But I don't think he can. I don't think there's anything to be done about this. I don't think he has any life gain creatures or.
Pride Mage is fine. He's already declared his blocks. You're trampling for 18 right now.
We are also still taking pre-registration for tomorrow's standard Premier IQ.
Yeah, that's it, because Azuri
Yeah.
can trample too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
There's
just flat overrun.
There's nothing for him to do. Like I said, I think Kendall's better served waiting there because maybe Logan has some weird creature for 2 mana that gains some life or something
Yeah.
that he's not going to get normally, but once you're presenting lethal, he does go get. But in that spot, I think he's just got Pride Mage, Wall of Roots, a couple other cards that don't do anything.
Go get my Dark Heart Sliver.
Dark Heart Slitter.
Sack it, gain 3, is still alive.
Excellent choice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Untap, draw, somehow kill all your elves.
Yep.
I don't know how, but that's
In
a thing
any
that could
case,
happen.
Kendall, A runaway victory.
A minor thing, but
Yeah.
yes, a runaway victory. And now he's 6-0-1 with this Elves deck. And again, this Elves deck is much different than what we saw from Chris. It's very straightforward. It's just attacking. It's got a little bit of interaction as we saw that game with Dismember and Rest in Peace. But it's so straightforward that it's almost weird that it's good because this is really the deck that Michael Malone won the Grand Prix with.
It's a deck that is less explosive than Chris's. Chris is capable of comboing out a lot faster, but because